Alright, welcome back to a video game channel where we will be talking about movies today, and extremely mediocre movies at that. But I just wanted to talk about them because why not? It's something else I do in my free time. I don't just play games. I've been watching a ton of crap too because I've been too tired to play a lot of games and been kind of burnt out on certain genres. So I watched some mediocre movies recently because I grew up on this series as many other people did, and I definitely enjoyed the first ones a lot more than the more recent ones. But I'm still gonna stick it through. They've only got like one movie left. I've got to watch them all at least to see how it ends. I just wish I really wish we still had Paul Walker with us because he was a big part of. Well, obviously we're talking about the Fast and Furious series, but I finally watched the ninth and 10th ones, and then I also watched a spoof, so we're going to talk about that one as well at the end, which that one's my favorite, by the way, so stick around for that, because the spoof one is so much better than the main series. I'll go ahead and say that, but let's, let's just say, rest in peace, Paul Walker. He was a big part of the series, definitely my favorite part in the earlier ones, for sure, and it's such a shame what happened. But I really wish they had ended the series with number 7 as well, because that would have been a perfect end. These next 4 or 5, including the spinoff, they're not really needed, but I still feel like I have to finish the series, just because it's been a part of my life for a very long time. And I'll start with number 9, so we can work our way up and then end on a banger. So 9 was probably one of the most forgettable ones I've ever watched. I had trouble paying attention to it. It was simply just about Dom's brother, who should never have existed, by the way, because a family is so big to Dom that you'd think he would have mentioned his long lost brother over the past couple decades, but they had to come up with some storyline, I guess, and they didn't have other ideas. So Dom has a brother now, and not just his sister Mia. So now it's 3 of them, and I mean, nothing against John Cena. I think John Cena is fine. He's one of the more decent wrestling actors, I guess, but it just was a character that was not needed. They could have came up with some other storyline. I don't know. It was hard to get into this one. But then again, I'm just very picky. So it wasn't terrible. It had a lot of action, like all the movies, obviously. A lot of really unrealistic stuff. It starts off with them, hey, it's not completely unforgettable. I actually remember a scene. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, this was in number 9. But they ended up driving through a field of mines. Like landmines. That's not, that's not realistic. You would not survive that, no matter how fast. Like in the beginning, they were talking about how fast they needed to go to not blow up. I feel like it doesn't matter like that. Oh, they've got to do something crazy and stupid in these movies. Usually in the first part, it seems like, but that was the scene. Tyrese Gibson's part of that was the most unrealistic because his car gets stuck in between a couple, boulders basically, and then there's a landmine directly below him, and his car is slowly falling. While he is falling, he kicks the windshield out, which that alone was too dangerous. That could have set off the mine. And then he lands right next to the mine, his face directly above it, and he still survives, which is fine. I like Tyrese, but it's just crazy how unrealistic these movies have got over the years. Not that they were ever super realistic, but at least the first one, and I'd say the first 3, maybe even the first 4, to be honest. Like, there wasn't that much crazy stuff going on. It was mostly in reality for the most part. But now they're driving through landmine fields, and my cat has his paw stuck on a thing. Oh yeah, there he goes. I was about to help him. But no, just, I don't know, number 9 was not that great. I'll have to rewatch it, and number 8, I'll rewatch the whole series whenever they finally finish. But 8 and 9 are my least favorite at this moment, for sure. Now, what else happened in 9 that I can remember? uh, that's about it. Yeah, it was about his brother and the landmine fields in the beginning of the movie. I honestly don't remember much else. Yeah, let's move on to number 10, because why not? Now, number 10 is also pretty forgettable, I feel like, but it was less bad than 9. I would say I enjoyed it a little more. I can't remember why. My memory's fantastic. Uh, but no, I guess in 10, so a bunch of stuff happens in the beginning of the movie. I've already forgotten most of it. Oh, no, they introduced, what's his name? Jason Momoa's character. So Jason Momoa's character is an asshole. Massive asshole. I hate him. Can't believe I kind of forgot that at first, but I'm also really tired. But no, his character was terrible. God, he blew people up. He did all kinds of terrible things. He's basically insane, I feel like. And the connection they built with this is, I think it was in movie number 5 or 6 or something like that, where they drove the safe at the end of the movie down the freaking highway and all that crazy stuff. I think that's what it was from. But it was basically connecting one of those older characters I can't remember the name of, and it's making Jason Momoa his son, who we never saw before because he did not exist until now, because they, again, needed a storyline. I wish they could come up with more interesting storylines instead of creating characters that literally don't exist. But, well, I guess this one could have. It's just I'm picky because the whole brother thing, they literally made that up. In a timeline where we still had Paul Walker, that would have never happened. They could have come up with other storylines, I think. Man, sucks. But that happened in 10, like, just Jason Momoa being a jerk. They introduce Dom's ex-girlfriend, wife, lady that died. They introduce her sister, and she almost gets blown up by Jason Momoa's character during a race, but Dom decides to save her and let this other guy blow up instead, who we did not get to know very well, so that's okay. I don't know if he had anything to do with the previous movies. I wasn't paying close enough attention, and God, my brain just, it's so hard to watch movies these days and pay attention. I'm so picky. Unless it's like a really terrible horror movie, then for some reason I can pay attention. I love terrible horror movies. But that's probably the end of that trailer now that I'm looking at the time. So let's move on to the best movie of the 3 that I actually remember a lot more of, called Superfast. This is a parody of basically the first 5 or 6 movies. I can't really remember what all happened in 5 and 6, but it made fun of a lot more than the first movie, which I thought was cool. Now, the best parts are the actors they got to mimic, all the original Fast and Furious characters, basically, because they had a guy for Dom, for Paul Walker, they had a guy for The Rock, which he was hilarious. He constantly was rubbing baby oil all over his arms and stuff and his head, and he played the character so well. And then also the Vin Diesel actor, he was the other best one. Like, him and The Rock, they were the best in this movie. And I wish I had looked up their real names before doing this, but they're actors that you don't see in anything. They're like very low grade actors, I guess. They don't do big movies, but they did such a good job, and I would love to see them in more stuff and more funny stuff that it takes itself seriously, like this one. God, they were perfect. And now this movie follows the first movie of the Fast and Furious for a while. It does the first race where it introduces, like, Paul Walker's character basically bets his pink slip for his car. They do that whole scene, and then later on they get to, God, I can't remember the guy's name, but the bad guy in the 5th movie, Braga, I think. So they introduce a mimic character of him, and in this scene where they are trying to win the spot to work for him, instead of doing the race like they did in the original movies, they have to dance in front of him, and it is hilarious. It's so stupid, and just watching God, at least y'all are seeing this part in the trailer. Just stick around till you see it, because it's hilarious. But it just shows Vin Diesel and Paul Walker's characters dancing like idiots, and they have to dance while everyone else gets shot to death because they weren't dancing good enough. And at the end, Braga's mimic character, or whatever you want to call him, he decides that he doesn't want to shoot either of them because they were doing such a good dance. So he keeps both, even though he only needs one driver. And then they just go from there, and God, it's so hilarious. And then later on, it introduces a character that would be like Han. It introduces Ludacris's character, and instead of giving them actual names, it also introduced Gal Gadot. How do you say her name? I can't remember, but I think it introduces a character similar to her. But for all three of those, it doesn't give them an actual name. It calls the Han one is really cool Asian dude or really cool Asian guy, something like that. The Ludacris one is rapper cameo, and then the girl is model turned actress, I think. And that's their actual names. They are called that. Like Vin Diesel's character calls really cool Asian dude. And it's just, it was such a fun parody. My mouth hurt from laughing at the end of it. I highly recommend it. Whether you like the series or not, it's still funny. It's so funny. But with that, I think that's all I can think to talk about. So I hope you all have a great day and enjoy this movie video on this video game channel. I'll probably do more crap like this because I just use this as a little outlet anyway of what I've been doing as hobbies. And oh yeah, I'm also working on some actual scripted content, which is not something I do often because I'm lazy and tired all the time. But I'm trying to make a review thingy for both of the Darkness games on 360 because they deserve way more attention. I'm also trying to script a kind of a parody video of my own that has to do with how to play JRPGs, but it's the dumbest stuff ever. So I don't know if that one will ever come out. I hope so, because I came up with it yesterday and started writing stuff down, and I was making myself laugh a lot, so that's got to be a good sign. But the Darkness video will be coming soon. I have to get that soon. I just beat those games recently, and they are so good, and not enough people know them, and more people need to play them. But with that, I'm losing my voice. I'm going to go drink the rest of that coffee that I just made. It's delicious, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.